Hello, everybody. Welcome back to today's video. We're going to be talking about the case of Dennis Palmer. So, I feel like I was saying this in every video. There's not a whole lot of photos or information, but really, I can only find like one photo and really not a whole lot of information. That being said, I still wanted to tell you guys about Dennis's case. I have had his name in a list on a list in my notebook for the longest time. And he's just someone that I wanted to tell you guys about for a very long time. And I kind of went back and forth about, do I put this in a mini cases video or do I just do a very short video, which I do all the time. And I was like, you know what? Let's just do a dedicated video to Dennis and just get his name out there and his story. So with that being said, all the links I used for research will be down below like always, and let's get into this. So I unfortunately couldn't really find much about Dennis himself, like his hobbies, like who he was as a person. It was all the information I found was basically just about his case. So on August 3rd, 1987, Dennis told his girlfriend that he was planning on traveling from their home in Jackson, California to Alpine County, California, sometime in the day to visit his parents. Shortly after, around 6:30 a.m., she would leave for work, and that would be the last time that anyone saw Dennis alive. When she returned home from work that evening, Dennis and his truck were gone. When he failed to return home later that evening, his girlfriend, she's worried and is wondering where he is. So she calls his parents to see if he's visiting, like he mentioned earlier. And they tell her that he had never arrived at their home and they didn't know where he would be. In the following week, his friends would get together and they began searching his property. And on August 10th, 1987, police officially began their own search for Dennis on and around his property as well. 17 days after he was last seen, his body is unfortunately found in a mine shaft on his property. Few details have been made public about how Dennis is believed to have ended up in the mine shaft, but it's confirmed that it is believed to be a homicide. In a letter to the editor of the Ledger-Dispatch, someone claiming to be friends with Dennis, they alleged the following, and I'm basically going to try to sum it up in this quote that I was able to find. So they basically say, we have in Amador County another murdered victim by the name of Dennis Palmer. For the people who don't know, Dennis was murdered at his home on Middle Bar in 1987. He was brutally beaten. He was run over. He was shot twice. Then his body was disposed of in a mine shaft on his property. And this person also says that the sheriff at the time said that the lead detective on the case knew who killed him. He adds that there was a witness to the event and that police wanted to take his case to a grand jury, but it never happened. So, again, this is someone who allegedly is a friend of Dennis Palmer, knew something about the case, so can't say how truthful this is, because as far as I could find, Dennis being beaten, run over, shot twice, that information I could not see it was ever made public other than this one person kind of leaking it, I guess you could say. So we don't know how truthful that is. We also don't know how truthful it is that the sheriff at the time, said that the lead detective knew who killed him and that they want to take the case to the grand jury, but it never happened. We don't know how true that is. For all we know, this could be a person that maybe had done it, because this person also saying that there was a witness to the event. So, I mean, this could always be like the witness, quote unquote, or the person who actually did this, just trying to get attention, That could always be an option. Because honestly, until it's released that this happened and that the sheriff and the lead detective wanted to take this to a grand jury, I don't know how believable that honestly is. So, but I included it anyway because it was kind of, I don't know, I guess interesting that someone is saying that this is what was done to him and that this is what the police wanted to do. So I decided to include it anyway. You can let me know your thoughts down below if you think it's even trustworthy. Maybe you're from this area and maybe you've heard things and so maybe this has a little bit of credibility. Let me know. I'd be really interested to know. But today, as far as I could tell, no new information has ever been released in several years. So, as far as I could tell, no progress has been made. We don't know if there ever was a suspect or suspects, witnesses, whatever. We don't know if anybody was ever interviewed, if there was ever any evidence found. We just don't know anything. So there is always a possibility that this alleged friend is telling the truth and they just wanted to put it out there. Or it could just be like a prank. Somebody could just be lying completely. Or there's always that possibility that it is a person who's actually involved. We don't know. That being said, I do have a phone number for you guys. If anybody knows any information, you are urged to contact the Amador, I believe it's pronounced Amador County Sheriff's Office at 209-223-6515. And that is basically all the information I have for you guys on the case of Dennis Palmer. I think this was incredibly heartbreaking. I wish I knew what happened. In the time that his girlfriend goes to work, something happens to him on his own property. He is, let's say that what this person said is true, he's beaten, he's run over, he's shot twice, and then just dumped in a mine shaft. Like, who would want to do this to him? Like, was it someone that had a problem with him? Could have been a robbery. Could have been completely random. I wish we knew in the hours between when his girlfriend left for work and when she got home, and like, I just wish we knew. It is so heartbreaking though to just, they're out there looking for him. She thinks that he's visiting family, but the entire time he is on their property. That is just so sad to think about. But thankfully they did find his body, so that is a good thing. He wasn't left down there for too long. But let me know your guys' thoughts down below on that whole alleged friend thing. What do you think could have transpired in that time? And yeah, thank you so much for listening to Dennis's story. I will see you guys very soon. Bye, guys.